From this computer. All right, brother. We're ready to go.
Morning.
Good morning. How's it going, brother?
It's good. Oh, I just got pinged for our call to start in 30 minutes. We are here now, phone. You are incorrect.
Yeah, thanks for being flexible on the time.
Oh, yeah. No worries, man.
I have to pick up someone from the airport. Well, I don't have to.
The lady?
Yes, it is a lady friend.
You said she's down in LA, right?
Yeah. Yep. She lives in LA, lives in Los Angeles. Yeah, which is actually super close. The flights are not too expensive and it's pretty easy to get
over. It's what, like a 40-minute flight, probably, if even.
It's super short. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how long it is, but it's like, yeah, it's like less than an hour. So yeah. And then she comes in and then, we do some collages and some, macrame and then she goes home. That's about it. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. Nice, fun, PG activities. I declined to comment at this time.
Comments were not even requested, so that's okay.
Yeah. So, sir, what's going on in your world?
Yeah, man.
Huh, big guy?
So many things.
Big special guy? What's going on?
When you're this big and this special, it's just all happening all the time.
What you got there in your little juice bowl?
Little booch.
Oh, is that homemade?
No, I just pour it out. I buy the 48 or 68 ounce GTs and then I pour some into here.
Okay, so that comes from that big GTs bottle. That's nice and girthy.
Yeah, sometimes I'll finish training jiu-jitsu and I'll just manhandle that whole bottle when I'm feeling really frisky, but it's just not very convenient.
Ooh, just those big strong hands around that girthy bottle.
Yeah. So what's been going on? Same stuff, man. So I wake up and spend some time appreciating stuff. Hattie is fully converted. She sleeps with me every night, which is the best thing in the world. I don't know what changed, but she's on board now. Yeah. So wake up, snuggle with her for a little bit.
You wake up to this?
No, thankfully, she actually is very good about I'm just close enough so that I'm here, but not too up close and personal. So we hang out for a little bit, spend some time just reflecting on appreciating some stuff. Lot of bringing stuff up from the day before, what was really cool yesterday that I didn't necessarily take the time in the moment to acknowledge, and other stuff too. It's all there all the time. And
it's just a matter of paying attention. There's always it's just if I really think about almost anything, I know I've said this a bunch. I also say I know I've said this a bunch. It's a meta comment. And it's really just a lack of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And because if I think about almost anything long enough, I can find out how actually I can think about how cool it actually is. Even the most mundane of things. Yeah. Most mundane everyday stuff that I just take for granted. I think one of the nice things about COVID is folks understanding or coming into coming to these realizations of all of these mundane everyday things that they took for granted, like going outside with no mask on, shaking hands with people.
Even friends and family. Are we hugging? Is that okay? To even need to ask that question.
Exactly. It's really basic shit. And it's oh, I really liked those things and they were really cool.
Yeah, I saw.
Go ahead.
I saw it was some meme or post on Twitter that got shared around that was like, hey, remember in Groundhog Day, how did Bill Murray finally break the cycle of just like the same shit and all those things? He's like, when he stopped being an asshole and started taking care of other people. And they're like, oh, geez, imagine that. I wonder maybe if this situation has anything to do with that.
Well, it certainly is an opportunity, right? Yeah. And so, I don't believe in like this karmic punishment of humanity kind of stuff, but it is although if there was, I wouldn't blame it, right? I'm like, yeah, like, I just don't believe there's some like justice being dispensed on us humans because we're bad creatures. But it is anytime a routine is kind of shaken up, it's an opportunity for growth. I'm sure you felt it. I know I have whenever I'm sure you can harken back to your bodybuilding days and there being like a weird thing comes up or some other thing arises that would interfere with your plans for bodybuilding dominance, right? And then you're like, okay, how am I gonna overcome this particular thing?
Yep.
And there's a lot to be like, I make fun of your bodybuilding history a lot, right? But there's
so much to be learned.
Yeah, exactly. But there is, but there's also a lot like any experience, there's also something to be learned from it. And I can take I can take what works from it and take what doesn't work and remove what doesn't work. Right. And how do we know it works?
How's it feel, baby?
Exactly. Bingo, bango. Someone would be like, and then other people like, oh, you just go off of your feelings. And I'm like, yeah, it's really that simple. It's really that simple when you understand what we're talking about when we mean feelings here. It's not just these like lizard brain whims. It's really the deeper conscience that we're talking about. And I don't think anyone would find that controversial. It's kind of like obvious when you think about it. So, okay, all right. So you are reflecting upon your days.
Yep. And
in examined life. Very nice.
Doing the best that I can. And sometimes I don't pay attention at all, and that's okay too. Well, even that's an exaggeration. I would say there's very few times where there's zero attention paid at this point. But so after that, I get up, shower.
It's like throughout the day.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you don't go the whole day just completely asleep.
No.
Right. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible now.
Yeah.
I could go through the whole day just reacting to life, I guess. That just sounds exhausting to me now.
Yeah.
I still do it. Like Ethereum is just blowing up right now. It's like going like hockey sticking up in crypto. And so it's like I react to that.
I was gonna say you've got like a pretty good chunk of change in there, yeah.
I will not confirm nor deny that I have in a crypto wallet. I have a comfortable amount of money. It's not like should Ethereum go like insane, it won't be life-changing money, but it will be a very healthy amount of money that I will not be sad about. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
So yeah, and that's like, hey, I see that, and then like dopamine gets excreted.
For sure.
That's very reacting. But also it's very good training in the other sense in investing, since there's such volatility because the markets are so new, that it also trains me just not to react to these crazy swings in the other direction. Like I've never sold. I've never sold. It's gone down. And just to give perspective, like I bought in at around, like my very first purchase of Ethereum was at $311. Ethereum rose to something like $1,200 to $1,400 in the span of like 3 months from that point. Didn't touch it. And then it's gone all the way down to $80.
Yeah.
And that was in March. It went down to 80, and it's done that a couple times. Didn't budge. Did not budge. Just bought a little bit more. And just continue to do that. So, and now it's paying off again. It's just patience. That's all investing is. If you believe, like, it's like, look, I'm not gonna pretend like I understand all of Ethereum in its vast intricacies, like at all. I get the general gist of it, and I believe in that. And so I'm just gonna put a tiny little bet, like a little set of chips over here. I don't even want to call it investing. I call it educated betting. Like an educated guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, to bring it back about being present, yeah, of course, I ebb and flow throughout the day. I'm not present all day long. It's just these kind of like little reminders, which is another reason why I love the meditation app that I have, because it just built in 3 times a day, just like boop, 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 boop.
That 40-second clip you sent me earlier this week, I think it was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That was money.
It's so good, dude. It's just that almost every time. it's so good. I love it so much. It's like that feature just like tripled the value of the application for me. For that exact reason, that like checking in throughout the day.
Yep.
My mind will run off and be thinking about, 1,000 other things as it does. And then just a nice little reminder. Oh, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. You know what? You do that 3 times a day, 365 times a year, bringing it back over the course of a lifetime. That's tens of thousands of times of bringing of being and living my life, rather than thinking about something that has happened or has yet to happen, like being a crypto millionaire. Fuck it. And the irony of that kind of stuff is like now, when it's going insane, like Bitcoin's it's going to reach all-time highs. It's very close to its all-time high now. And this is the worst time possible to put your money into cryptocurrency, is when everyone is like starting to, it's like just the beginning of the bubble starting.
Yeah.
And it's the worst possible time. Like the best time to get into is when everyone thinks it's shit and is mad and is sad and is all like, I hate it and it's so low and blah, blah, blah. And that was the past like 3 years or 2 years. Yeah. And now we get to reap what we have been sowing. It's very nice. The forums are very fun. The subreddits, reading them, very great. very, very, very happy right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So you're present, and then you're not present, and then you're present again.
Yeah.
And then so what's the emotion for you, like flip-flopping between those two things?
That's a good question. Yeah, I would say that it's changed a lot, right? Like the baseline of when I'm not present is still like a relative sense of, I would say at worst neutral, right? Like if I'm not paying attention, I'm still like, things feel pretty good most of the time, or at least they feel not uncomfortable in any particular way.
Oh, I meant specifically in the transition.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like comparative contrast.
Not comparatively like, oh, like now I feel like Buddha now that I'm present kind of thing. And before I was like a miserable wreck. But no.
Which is true. But
in that in that transition, what was the emotion like?
Okay. That totally makes sense. I just feel things slow down is the best way I can describe it. Like as I'm switching from kind of the just like endless monotony, not monotony, but the endless like thought cycles and brain waves of my brain running off and doing stuff, to bringing it back. Usually for me, that involves like taking a really deep breath and just letting that all out. And I can feel there is a transition that occurs. It's almost like I use this analogy all the time to talk about this work in general, but I think it applies on a micro sense to this too. It's like the old Claritin D commercials, where it's like they're kind of wandering around and stuff is kind of gray and weird, and then they like pull the sheet back. It's like, oh my God, it's flowers and color and stuff. It's like a very, very micro adjustment of that is probably the best way I can describe it for people who maybe are not familiar with that concept.
Yeah, I think time slowing down and that perception, I've definitely felt that before, for sure. Like if my mind is racing and then it's not, or it's like I'm kind of like zooming through time when I'm not present. If I'm just like engrossed in some other thing and just thinking about some other stuff, like life can go by really fast. And then, yeah, have you ever just sat and like stared at a wall, like time goes by pretty slowly.
Until it doesn't though, right? Like I think that all the time when I go float or do like an extended meditation. It's like the first 10, 15 minutes are slow. And then for me, at least, it just evaporates after that. And I think, I mean, specifically with the floating, I think it's just that like loss of sense of time and space.
I'm such a bad floater, dude. I just feel
Really?
like all I think about while I'm floating is like, is this water going to get in my ears if I don't? Like, right? Like, that's all I can think about, just like this. And I'm like, am I
gonna get ear infection?
Is my head gonna fuck up here and dip in? Like, that's all I think about the entire time. It's like, I don't want this water to get in my eye or my mouth. It's gonna be so salty and gross. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm a bad meditator. I'm a horrible tank person. Can you even do that shit now? Can you even go and get a
so you could for a while, like I would say a month or I think the last one I did was like 2 months ago. I don't know. Like Colorado is we're like back in the strictest lockdown, but with revisions from the first one. So like gyms can still be open at 10% capacity or 10 people per room, whatever is lower.
Okay.
Indoor dining just closed today.
Indoor dieting?
Dining, like going and eating in a restaurant.
Yeah. But outdoor dining is still a thing in November in Colorado.
Yeah, dude, today's the first day it's been cold for like 2 weeks and it's still like 40.
Yeah, it's like, it's cold out here, man. It's a low of 50, 45.
Okay.
It's cold out here.
I mean, that's cold relative to, the normal Bay Area.
Well, and Colorado's so dry, dude. It's like,
that's true.
This much moisture in the air, fucking 50 degrees is cold as fuck.
Yeah.
Not to mention we're just a bunch of pussies out here. So it's always 65 degrees. So, like, but no, with that extra humidity, it's like those just going into the 80s or going into the 50s.
Makes a big difference.
Makes a big difference. And then there's no insulation in any building. It's just like everything is put together with paper mache because the climate's so mild. So it's like, if it is 50, it is 50 in my house.
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm like, I check the thermostat. It is fucking straight up 55 degrees in my house.
Oh,
it is so fucking cold. And I'm like, oh, anyway. All right. Yeah.
Lockdown, yeah. Which, I still get to train jiu-jitsu. So for me, like my day-to-day life hasn't changed.
That doesn't even make sense to me. How can you train jiu-jitsu with the strict lockdown rules?
I don't know either, but I'll take it.
Okay.
Like,
all right, yeah.
We're factored into that. Like gyms can be open with 10 people or less thing. Okay. So they just made smaller classes. But we have to wear a mask while we train, which I'm dripping sweat in your eye while I'm like dry humping you. I'm sorry, but this does not do anything.
Yeah, I mean, jiu-jitsu gyms being open makes no sense to me, but it's like, I understand a weightlifting gym, that's fine, but like when you are wrestling someone else, that makes no sense, but whatever, man. It's like, whatever.
Precisely.
I'm not gonna think about it.
So what happens after that? I discovered on the eggs makes me sleepy train. I just thought of you this week when I finally put 2 and 2 together.
I just incepted you. I just put that into your mind.
You probably did.
And now
that's all this thing is. One giant Suggestion inception.
I'm actually paid by what lobby would make you not want to eat eggs. I have no idea actually. What's the replacement for that? I don't know.
Some like vegan. There's a vegan egg substitute, I think.
Yeah,
exactly.
Ugh.
But yeah, I thought of that because after I shower and meditate, make some breakfast, take Hattie for a walk, work. Days where I can go to jiu-jitsu, I go to jiu-jitsu. I bought a home pull-up bar and I've got my little steel mace, so otherwise I just work out at home. I think I'm going to cancel my normal gym membership.
What?
It's a steel mace. It's basically like a sledgehammer.
Yep.
That thing's fucking awesome.
Yeah. What do you use it for?
Oh, dude. My favorite is just the 360 swings. So you like grab it at the bottom, swing it around your head, swing it around the other way. It like frees up so much of especially from like perpetual internal rotation, right?
I do that with my kettlebell.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best.
It feels awesome. It does feel really good. It's part of the Pavel's warm up.
Yep. Yeah. I think they call it a windmill with a kettlebell. Maybe.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Or just like, dude, hanging from a pull-up bar.
Feels
For
great.
like a minute or two.
Feels great. Yeah, man, I lucked out. I had a pull-up bar already because someone had thrown it out 2 years ago.
Are you serious?
And I was like, is that a fully functioning fucking pull-up bar? I'm like, 100% I'm taking this. I like, all the screws are in here. All right, fucking awesome. Done.
Oh, yeah.
So I just had it, and then the pandemic hit. I was like, do I have that pull-up bar stuff? Boom. Like, yes.
Boom.
Scavenging 100. And then just threw it up, and I've had it, which is it's huge. Yeah, my gym closed down. I was Olympic lifting for a month. I re-signed up for hybrid performance. I was like, great, I'm going to get locked in for these 3 months. I didn't even think about it. And now we're shut down again, and now I'm paying for it. But I am going, I'm like, all right, fine. They have hybrid at home. I have a 54 pound kettlebell. I have a 30 something pound one, and I have a 50 pound X dumbbell now.
Oh, nice.
And that should, get me through the next couple months, 3 months, whatever. It's fine. I'll do some fucking hit shit. Won't be able to snatch or fucking clean, but it's fine. It's fine. I was making sick gains in the gym. I was like, that's awesome. I'm getting back my strength. It's coming back so quickly. I was 5 weeks in, and then they were like, fuck you, shut it down. It's like, God
what a
damn.
great exercise for all the stuff that we talk about, though. Like this whole thing, but just that example in particular is awesome for this stuff.
Look, man, everything is.
Yeah.
Everything is.
Good
This
point.
is in particular. Like anytime my emotions get riled up, there's a great opportunity for this kind of stuff. And my problems are they're fucking luxury problems. Oh, boo-hoo, my gym isn't open. Like, bitch, people can't eat. Like, like I've got luxury ass problems here in Oakland. Like, got no complaints. What else, man?
Yeah. So after that stuff, I'll work in the afternoon and then get Hattie outside again. Then I study Japanese for a while, do some flashcards, some stuff for my textbook, have some dinner, and then it's usually like an anime party. Just watch a bunch of fucking anime for a while.
In Japanese?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
It's hit or miss. Like I can usually pick up the general sentiment that's happening. Like obviously just the animation helps a ton with that. It's mostly like, I mostly use it for like sentence structure and pronunciation and like understanding how stuff comes together.
It's immersion.
Yeah,
it's immersion.
absolutely.
Like you don't, like babies don't understand Japanese when they come out of the womb, right? And they get it through immersion. Through thousands and thousands and thousands of repetitions of hearing the words in the context, right? And then they go to school and learn why. But that's how we learn languages. So,
there's a great software called Anki, and it's free. Just like an SRS app. But there's a whole pack I downloaded.
For those who don't know what SRS means,
spaced repetition system, I think is. With that. So basically it's like, rather than I make like a deck of flashcards that's like 10,000 thick, right? I have this app that keeps all my flashcards in there. And then based on how easily I recall that thing, it spaces out the next time I see it for me. So if it's like super easy, right? Maybe the first time you see it again in like a couple days, then a month or a week, a month, 2 months, a year, whatever. But what I love about Anki is so many like clever human beings out in the world have already created packs that you download that already have like full sentences and like audio recordings and context and stuff, so that you remember the word and then you hear it spoken in context. It's fucking the stuff people come up with for free, dude.
It's awesome.
It's
pretty great.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, other than that, I had a really cool, really cool opportunity with one of my guys a week ago. So it just ended on Monday for him. So he's like how do I word this? Like was living and dying by his daily checklist, like much like how I used to be, right? But it was like, dude takes notes just to take notes. Like if I don't write this down and record it somewhere, it's going to be lost in the ether forever. And like I may or may not ever act on it, but at least it's there. And he brought up like, man, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I feel like just anxious all the time thinking about this like never ending Evernote that I have. And like all this stuff that I've accumulated. I'm like, hey man, like you don't necessarily have to do this. But I would strongly suggest that for the next week, you take no more notes in your Evernote and see what happens. And that was a huge snowball moment for him. Like Pards clouded, the Red Sea opened, saw the code in the Matrix kind of thing, where he like that next week, dude, totally different check-in. And like, much like when I went on that 3-week, I'm not going to exercise at all thing, right? It's not that the notes are the problem or the exercise for me was the problem. It's my relationship to those things and like how I feel about it while I'm doing them.
It's why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So right when we talked, I think our very first conversation at Little Owl Coffee or whatever it's called on Market was, why am I doing these things?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I am taking these notes to have this death grip around the throat of life, to have some sense of control and understanding in this world around me, which I have very little understanding and control of, basically none, then it's going to feel like shit over time. It's going to feel like shit. So I'm living in this fantasy world. It's like, oh, if I have these things, then I am in control. I'm organized. I feel okay. I am okay if I do these things. And it's like, no, you're just okay. All of this other stuff is some middleman. Yeah, once I find that thing for me, the big one, and then I just stop doing it.
Yep.
Dude, so nice.
Oh, it's crazy. So what nice. I mean, for you, that was drinking, right? Or was there another one that came that you would rate?
Fundamentally, even deeper than that, it was bullshitting myself. So I had to stop the drinking in order to get the clarity to do the work.
Yeah.
Right. So like it was a necessary but insufficient condition.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So it was like, can't fucking do this stuff if I'm fucked up. Right. I can't study my math homework if I'm high on crack. Like it doesn't, maybe crack does work. I don't know. But I can't study for math if I'm drunk. I can't, maybe other people can, but I couldn't. And I couldn't work on expanding my spiritual life if I was fucked up. I just couldn't do it. And I couldn't deal with the emotions that I was feeling and if I was numbing them.
Yeah.
Is Hattie right there?
Yeah, she's right there and she won't stop chewing on herself.
But yeah, if the key to all of these things is my relationship with my emotions and all I'm doing is numbing them all of the time, I can't do the work. It doesn't work because I'm not paying attention. So it's like, oh, I don't like these emotions. I'm just gonna not feel them. And I'm gonna use this thing right over here so I don't have to feel them. Meanwhile, they're there for a fucking reason, which is like, your life is on fire. Please do something about the decisions you're making. Please. And I'm like, nope. I'm just gonna not, because that seems scary to me. And so, yeah, that was and I think the big aha moment for me was that I was already fine. Like, you're already okay. You don't have to be doing all of this shit to go get okayness. Like, what if you just were okay? Oh, okay. Okay, that sounds cool. I like that. Yeah, and the one, it was like the understanding that all I have is this emotional experience and that my emotions are actually really useful tools that are trying to guide me in the direction that I want to be going in. They're not some things to be avoided. Like, they feel not so great for a reason, because maybe these decisions are not so great. Maybe I want to be making other choices in my life. Like not plowing through strippers and fucking doing drugs. Like, shocker, news alert doesn't lead to a fulfilled life. A fulfilled, contented, joyful life. Shocker. Fucking news alert. Hello. No, it's not. It was it was miserable. It was miserable. I didn't have this, so my way of control, all right, yours was lifting and exercise and all of these things, and sounds like your guy is like taking all these notes and things, and mine was, I mean, those solutions sound like shit to me. That sounds like a ton of work. I'm just gonna drink. So I'm gonna drink. That's really easy. So yeah, that was my way of trying to control these emotions. And then the super fucking Jedi move is getting to a point where it's like, I don't need to control these things. These are a gift. There's no effort that has to take place. I'm going to feel them and experience them and find out why I'm having them. I.E. Am I fucking anxious? Oh, okay, I'm anxious. I'm worried about something that has not happened. Why is that? Why am I so preoccupied with this particular subject? Oh, I haven't really addressed this part of my brain. Interesting. Let's go and address it. Okay, doop. Address it, right? Food stuff, relationship stuff, money stuff. Let's fucking do it. Let's fucking do it. Strap the fuck in and let's deal with it. Oh, it's not that scary. It just looked really scary. Okay. Cool. Brain chills out. Now it's much easier to make decisions.
Yeah, they're almost kind of fun. Like, not initially at all.
No. No, not initially.
But then it does become much closer to fun.
Once you get good at something, it gets fun. When you suck at it, and all the decisions just turn to shit, and it's like, yeah, it sucks. And it's scary, and it's weird, and it's awkward. But just like anything else, it's like I was doing Spanish homework, and I was working with my tutor. I totally copied you. I was like, that's a great idea.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like,
on Italki or?
And so, what's that?
Is it Italki or what are you using?
No, I looked up a school in Medellin in a neighborhood
oh, nice.
to stay in, and then they had online classes, and I was like, perfect, I'll just do those. And
hell yeah.
Then when I go out there, I'll just go to that school. So it's like perfect, and it's only like $10 an hour.
Oh, jeez, hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking South America. So it's like, so that person's crushing it, making $10 an hour and living in Medellin, and I'm crushing it because that's not a lot of money to me, right? So it's like everybody wins. So, and I'm going through it. I'm sucking through these fucking like responding to questions and not knowing the difference between esta and ser, and like just like what the god fucking damn it. And then I'm going into, and then the next set of homework was like just pluralization. I'm like, I'm fucking crushing this, and it feels awesome, feels so good. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's a skill that develops. People like doing shit that they're good at, and when you get good at your emotions, oh my god, you fucking crack it's code, dude. It's over, right? It's over. When you get good, being like, oh, I'm feeling this fucking weird thing, and I don't have to go like fucking eat a pound cake or a Big Mac to deal with it. I can actually just deal with the emotion as it's happening, and it's fine that I feel weird. Oh my god, crack the fucking code to life, and then I just feel good. And now, like, that's what I'm saying. Cut out the middleman. Stop going to find all these other things to get what I'm actually really wanting, which is just to feel fucking good. I don't want the Lambo. I want the fucking feeling I think the Lambo is going to give me. So cut out the middleman of the Lambo. That road seems so long and weird. Like I gotta start a company and fucking make all this fucking money first. And it's like putting off and deferring my joy for no fucking reason. I can feel good right now. And it takes way less than a Lamborghini. Way less. It's really easy. Take a hot bath. That shit feels amazing. Watch The Mandalorian. That shit feels awesome.
Plus one for that.
The second season wouldn't be good. And then I saw some ice spiders and I was like, all right, this is pretty good. Pretty good. Right? Cut out the fucking middleman. So when I get good at my emotions, like that's the only skill that's the best skill. In my opinion, that's like the only skill that matters is emotions. That's it. So that's all I have is this emotional life right now in this moment. Am I scared? Am I sad? Am I happy? Am I joyful? Am I content? Am I neutral? Where am I at? And wherever I am at, it's totally fine. And there is a reason. And then getting good at finding the root cause and finding the reason, taking responsibility for my own emotions. And I'm done. That's it.
I was thinking, I thought about you a week or two ago. I was having a conversation with some people, much like the Lambo topic, right? And when we first met, I had the BMW, showing out some pretty pennies to keep that status symbol around, and was hanging out with some people. And I drive this little, like, I refer to it as a shitbox jokingly because I love my Ford Fiesta, but it's a little shitbox Ford Fiesta. And I love that thing.
It's perfect too. It's just like Ford Fiesta. It's a little
dude. The name,
driveway,
everything about it is perfect. And I'm hanging out with these people, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want another car. I fucking love and they're like, what do you drive? 16 Ford Fiesta, and you could just see they're like, you like that car? Fuck yeah, I do. Gets me from point A to point B, man. Like it does everything I could want a car to do. And I don't need that other stuff for me.
I don't believe you. Yes.
Dude.
But you're getting there. I don't believe you at all.
There is one thing that it doesn't do that bothers me.
You said point A to point B, I was like, this guy doesn't believe it yet. He doesn't believe it yet. And that's fine. That's fine. We've got like the stories that adjust, they take time, and that's okay. And like my mentor loved cars, and I would make fun of him for liking cars so much. I was like, bro, I'm starting to think you have a small dick. That's what I'm trying to do. Because I was like, there is no bigger dick energy than feeling awesome and coming out of a 2005 Subaru Outback and being like, this car is amazing. I can plow, like, while you're fucking just roaming around in whatever sports car you fucking have, I'm plowing through fucking snowdrifts, bitch. I'm gonna pass by your ass on all the fucking trails and shit that I'm gonna be on. This shit is amazing. I don't give a fuck. I'll plow into you. I don't even care. You driving like an asshole? I will plow into your ass. Give no fucks. This shit is rugged. And yeah, I can take the kids to soccer practice. I can go to my LGBTQA meetings. I don't give a fuck, bitch. This car can go anywhere. It does anything. And yours, all it's advertising to me is, I feel so self-conscious about my life. I have to spend extra money to show everyone how important I am. That's what it looks like to me. My car is self-confidence personified in a fucking vehicle. It is a long silver cock that plows through snow. That's how I know you don't believe it yet, right? Because that's how I felt about my Subaru Outback. I fucking loved that car. Loved it. And it was great. Fucking awesome, awesome, awesome car. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And look, I'm just busting people's balls. If you like cars, it's totally fine. I don't think you have a small dick or you have no self-confidence. Like, I'm totally just busting your balls. But the point is that, and the reason it's funny is that, yeah, there's a little truth to it. That a lot of the motivation for people going and getting fancy shit is to fill some hole or some void that they think they have. Some people just like them because they think they're fucking awesome. Great. Fantastic. We'll get more of it. But again, it goes all the way back to what we were originally talking about, was that motivation is, why am I going and getting these things? Why am I doing them in the first place? And if I'm doing it because I don't think I'm enough, and this is going to demonstrate that I am enough, good luck, man. It's not going to do what you think it does. Yeah, it's going to feel good to buy it. And it's going to feel good to drive around in it and get the attention. And you're going to give yourself those pats on the back. And that's about it. And it's hollow and it's empty. And no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit nearly as much as I do. And I can tell myself those stories about myself, about being enough and being the shit, without this fucking car. The question is do I believe it? And if I'm going and buying things to go get it, all I'm doing is reinforcing that I don't actually believe it. And I get some lady, oh, well, that's why I got the car, is to get that female attention. Well, does she like me for me, or does she like me because I drive a blah, blah, blah? I don't know. I didn't have that problem when I drove a Subaru Outback. Not have that problem. I had other problems, but not that one. End of car rant. So enjoy your Fiesta. Got work to do there, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It's the closest I have ever been to believing that. We'll put it that way.
Look, and they take time. Like, stories take time, right?
Yeah.
So like a belief is just a story I've told myself enough times to where it's ingrained. And so if it's a newer one, it just takes a little bit more time. That's okay. It's fine. Ultimately, it's not even about the car. It's just myself. Yeah. Am I enough? Do I feel successful? Do I feel good enough? Do I feel good? Yeah. And if I'm feeling great, it doesn't matter. I could be on a fucking tricycle. It's not going to matter. I have that big dick energy coming off of a fucking unicycle. Not going to matter. Off of a fucking razor scooter, just like me. Like, it doesn't matter. Feeling good, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. All things outside of myself. All right, I think we got enough time to drill into one. I'm going to go pee while you pull that up.
Cool.
I'll be back. Okay.
All right.
All right, let's
Gotta
do
pay.
it.
Gotta pay those bills, man. Gotta pay those bills.
Any bill in particular?
Uh, no, there's a separate one
Okay.
that will be next week that is about a particular bill, but that's a different situation.
Okay.
Yeah. So, story about paying bills. I just worked for all this money, and now I just have to. Oh, there's a missing word. I just have to put it right back into corporation. The fuck? What's the point of working for a living when all of that money just goes into being able to stay alive in the first place? Where's the fun? How am I supposed to become financially independent and free when I have so many financial obligations? There's no way I'll ever be able to save enough money to reach my goals right now. This perpetual paycheck to paycheck cycle is absolutely horrifying, and I don't feel like I'll ever break out. How am I supposed to live my life like this? If these damn bills weren't around, I might stand a chance.
I mean, I think this is a resentment that lots of people feel.
Yeah.
I know I've certainly felt it. This is, yeah. Great. The facts?
Yeah. I pay some bills.
Bingo. All right. What does this affect?
My ambitions. I think the actual expectation here is an unrealistic one of like, I don't want to ever pay bills. I should not have to pay bills. But
I don't know, man.
Like,
I don't know if that is, I don't know. I don't know if that is a, like, you have an expectation that you shouldn't have to pay bills?
well, no, not in all actuality. Like that would be a nice fairy tale, ponies and unicorns reality.
Well, it would be fine if that was your expectation, right? Expectations don't have to like live in reality. Like that's why they're resentments, right?
No, yeah.
But
No,
I don't know if that's the ambition. Like if that's the expectation.
No, the ambition is like to have this financial independence, to have enough money where I don't even feel the bills.
Bingo. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like focused on how they feel right now.
Well, the expectation is like, I should have fucking so much money. Like, I don't even fucking need to like worry about these fucking bills, right? But here I am. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, pocketbook. I mean, hand in hand with that, right? It's like it feels like there's never enough. There's this perpetual paycheck to paycheck cycle. I feel like I'm never going to get out of it. I'm never going to have the kind of money I want. Feels scary.
Well, yeah, this is almost obvious self-evident why this would be here. But yes, you're paying money to these things.
Yep.
And what are these bills for? Give me some examples.
Like electricity, water, internet, groceries, like rent, any of the prerequisites to maintaining life.
Yeah, I mean, all of those things are fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
And it's really funny. Like I say this because I felt the same way. And it's like, I live in this dope house. I have this dope thing called electricity, which allows this other dope thing called the internet to exist and provides me with unlimited like knowledge and education and entertainment for like $50 a month. Feels like a pretty good trade-off. And then heat, that's pretty dope. So are fans. Those are also pretty awesome. And yeah, they cost money. And that's, yeah, okay. Anyway, continue.
Self-esteem, like, yeah, I want to be the kind of big dick energy guy who doesn't care about his bills. Right. And like, I'm worried about my bills. I feel like I can't pay them and that feels bad. Like I'm so trapped in this cycle that I can't build the kind of wealth that I'm thinking that I should have.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, and pride very much hand in hand with that, right? Like if I want to be the type of person who doesn't even feel these bills, doesn't even think about them, and I'm not that person, that doesn't feel very good. That's not something I'm proud of.
Yep. They're fucking with your goals, which is to be some big rich dude. Mm-hmm.
I mean, not in all actuality.
Financially independent. Yeah, but this is the effect. Like these are the stories that I have in my head, right? It's not like this exactly. They're just identifying the stories that don't work that I have from time to time. They don't even have to be the prevailing stories. They're just there, right? And it's not a judgment on you for having them. And it's not the reality of the situation. It just is. And that's why there's discord in the emotion. All right, selfishness.
We'll see. I'm unique in my requirement to pay bills, and the world isn't fair.
Okay, let's just delete that entire thing.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Do these companies provide you with a service?
They do. Oh, yeah.
We're not done.
Yeah.
We're not done. I'm gonna
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Did you agree and say, I want these services?
Yes.
And were they like, we're going to surprise you and you're going to have no idea how much this is going to be? Or were they like, this is how much this will cost?
Yeah, the latter.
To some effect, sign like some contract or as RE your like cell phone bill or like your mortgage where it was clearly outlined how much you would be paying every month?
Yep.
And did you like sign that and with full knowledge of how much it would be and give your word to pay them?
I did.
On time at a particular date?
Yes.
Okay, so what's selfish about this?
I am. How do I want to word this? Like, I am not beholden to obligations I make, or like I shouldn't be. I don't want to be. Something to that effect. Like I'm above just sticking to the obligations that I make.
Yeah, or just I don't feel like sticking to these obligations I made.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as lying. Because, and then we'll go into all of the reasons why you don't think you should have to, into the dishonesty and the fear. So, all right, let's go.
Dishonesty, it's all corporations' fault that I'm not saving enough.
Great.
The paycheck to paycheck cycle can never be broken.
Fantastic.
I am not saving enough. That's just like a value judgment. The only thing I spend my money on is bills and staying alive. My financial obligations cannot change, and I cannot ever become financially independent.
Great. So those are all great lies and great stories. And let's go a little bit deeper. What does money mean in this context?
In this context, more specifically, I think it means freedom.
From what?
Freedom from worry or discord.
From what? Yeah, about what?
Means freedom from worry or discord of any. Worry about if I'm like safe or if I'm enough.
Bingo, exactly. You nailed it.
Yeah.
If I am not safe if I have to pay these bills.
Yeah.
Money, for most people, money equals safety. That's the proxy. It is this resource that I can trade for my safety, which is why folks get super fucking torqued up about money, because you're fucking with their safety, their life. Exactly. So, and it's not paying the bills, it's that this money going out is a reduction in my safety. Ironically, the money going out is paying for the things which keep you housed. We're not talking about logic here. Okay. Fear.
Fear. I really want to get to a point where I can be fired someday. And if I keep up this rate of spending versus saving, I'll never get there. I'll never be happy because I'll never have enough money because I'll always have bills to pay. This cycle will never end and I will never be able to break free. I'll have to work some job I don't love forever just to keep paying for things I don't care about so I can die with a false sense of accomplishment. I that's all life is bullshit.
I think this is like, yeah, fucking with your like fire goal, like sure, yeah, that's part of it. There is, I think, a more primal aspect of that we've touched on a little bit that I'd like to address here.
If I can't have,
and again, am I talking shit? Am I talking craziness?
No, not at all.
Does resonate?
No, I think it resonates for me, and I think there's like a universal truth in this too. Or well, truth is maybe a strong word, but there's a universal story here.
Like the fear is the story of what happens if I pay these bills. Like when this money leaves my bank account, what happens?
I'll never be safe because I will never have enough money.
Yeah, and what happens if you don't have enough money?
I don't have enough money. Never be able to like go get my safety or worth or happiness. Someday it'll all run out and I won't even be able to pay the bills. I'll really not be safe. And that's where the HJs under the bridge come in.
Yep. So let's go. Let's write it out.
And homeless and miserable. Trying to find
I think you can stop at the homeless and miserable. I think that's good. So I like this one. Well, one, it's I think everyone feels the money anxiety stuff. And two, it's great to like talk about the like how illogical these things are. It's like paying my mortgage will make me homeless. Right? So yeah, and it's the scarcity thinking for sure. There's not enough, there's never enough, I can't have it. And so what are these primal, the fundamental stories?
Can't have what I want.
Yep.
I am not enough. Things outside of me determine my worth. I'm not safe.
That's a biggie. That's a big one right there. Exactly. So we have
Must suffer for outcomes.
So we have I am not enough.
Yep.
What else?
Oh yeah. There is not enough.
Bingo. I think these are the two biggies.
Yep.
In this one. There's not enough. And I am not safe. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter how much money you make, man. You can feel these things at any income bracket.
Yep.
Anywhere. It's funny, sometimes when I YNAB, I'm like, fuck, man. God damn it. I want more. Not enough. Yeah, very, very, very that's a pretty standard money resentment thing.
Yeah.
The not enough. So the nice little trick I like to use to turn the story around. This is nice, like surface level stuff, but just pure 3D, like normal restructuring is being like, these things are amazing and they have immense value and I'm paying for them. Like I get to live in this dope fucking apartment in this dope area, in this dope place that has just beautiful vistas. Like I can walk and see just insane nature right outside my, like that's what my rent is. And it's fucking awesome. And I get to live here. And my heating and my electricity and my internet. And it's just paying attention. Rather than like, oh, I gotta pay these fucking bills, man. And it's like, why would I feel that way? If I think that like, oh, this money is just like, I'm just putting it out into the ether and then it just evaporates. No, man. There's tons out there for me. go back to crypto. Fucking hockey stick. This is financial advice. 100% put every dollar you have into cryptocurrency. I'm totally joking. It's not financial advice. Damn it. Don't do that. That's a horrible idea. Like, this is financial advice. Go to Vegas, put all of your money on red. Every dollar. There's a chance to double your money. All I'm saying.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
Exactly. It's a pretty good one too. It's like almost 50%. So all right, man.
All right.
Pleasure as always. Until
Indeed.
next week.
Sir, enjoy your arts and crafts.
I will, brother. I will.